She got into this horrible accident and then she walked away, and it appeared that she was under the influence of drugs at the time she was driving the car without a license, killing 2 people.
An Instagram model appears in court to find out if she'll be granted a bond after a horrific chain reaction car crash out in Miami. We're detailing the felony charges she currently faces and what she could face.
Macy Marie is her name. Macy Marie. At least that's her Instagram name, I guess.
With trial attorney Bob Hilla. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Macy Marie Lathers is probably used to being in the spotlight. 24-year-old artist and model, has thousands of followers on Instagram, but one of her latest photos, it's missing the makeup, it's missing the filters, it's missing the likes. You know why? Because it's her mugshot. Yeah.
Oh, hell.
Miami police say Lathers was speeding down a stretch of road 2 weekends ago, just after 6:45 a.m., and went right through a red light, and the Mercedes-Benz that she was driving ended up slamming into a Range Rover that was being driven by a man in his 20s, and then both vehicles ended up crashing with a Suzuki carrying 3 people, killing both the driver and one of the passengers. Lathers and the Range Rover driver, they were also injured, according to her arrest report, but Lathers still reportedly tried to leave the scene of the accident, but you know what happened? Bystanders actually stopped her and brought her back. So in all, Lathers faces 8 felony counts, 2 counts.
Oh my God. You gonna burn in hell for that. She tried to flee the scene.
Counts of driving without a license and causing death for the driver and the backseat passenger of the Suzuki. 2 counts of driving without a license and causing serious injury for the Suzuki's other passenger and the driver of the Range Rover. 2 counts of leaving the scene of a crash that caused death, and 2 counts of leaving the scene of a crash that caused serious injuries. However, there is a chance that her charges could be upgraded. And before we even get into her latest appearance in court and what happened, I want to bring in trial attorney Bob Hilla, who's back here on Sidebar. Bob, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming on. How tough do you think it is to prosecute these kinds of cases? On one hand, it seems pretty straightforward, but is it?
Well, I think a lot's going to depend on the toxicology report coming back, because again, a lot of the issue she raised, which are probably going to be part of her defense, was that she was on this cocaine drug, and you know that.
What the hell? That looks like sand that you put in the damn crafts. Oh Lord, here we go.
That she really didn't have full use of her faculties.
Yeah.
But I think this is going to be a tough case for the defense. I mean, I think the simpler a case is for the state to prove, the easier it is for the jury to convict, I think. You know, again, there's no question she's the one that caused the deaths and the injuries. There's no question that she ran the red light. I mean, there may be some challenges to that, but all the witnesses are going to be lined up against her on it.
And probably surveillance footage,
right?
Camera footage. I'll tell you what. Hold that thought, because I want to get into the charges that she could be facing, and also that drug that you mentioned too. But one of the things I saw is, so her Instagram account has a little more than 11,000 followers, posing in bikinis, very suggestive photos. Her bio reads, "Money on my brain, dope in real life." Because this is getting a lot of attention because of her social media following, and does that,
dear Lord,
come into evidence at all? Is that relevant at all, her Instagram?
I don't know that those 2 comments on her Instagram
and all
site,
the photos and everything.
It makes great press.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's going to make necessary evidence or essential evidence in the trial. I mean, the real things they're going to focus on is that she should have been behind the wheel in the first place because she was suspended.
Right.
So that's going to
damn, her license was suspended and everything. Kimmy, thank you.
Lay down a basis.
On Rita, on Instagram, it was Macy, Maecee Marie, Macy Marie.
For, you know, was that reckless to be there in the first place? Then taking the drug. You know, again, the toxicology report's going to have to show that that because in Florida, if it's a DUI, that's a second-degree felony with a 15-year.
You're talking about DUI manslaughter, right?
Right.
So
Vehicular homicide with
right.
DUI.
Because prosecutors, and this is what I wanted to get into, they have indicated they may, in fact, charge her with DUI manslaughter, and it depends upon the results of the toxicology report. Now, my understanding is that is a second-degree felony that carries 15 years in prison, but before we came on, you said it could be even more.
Right, because it's the leaving the scene issue that bumps both the
That's crazy as hell too. She's gonna cause another wreck, and then try to leave the scene.
You what?
Oh my god, you crazy as hell. You gonna burn in hell for that too. She looks like that kind of person, though. You know what I mean? Like she looks like that type of person that's like, oh my god, what happened? And the people in the car are like, no, stop. You're coming right back here.
vehicular homicide and the DUI homicide up.
Damn, she got hella filters on those pictures too. That's her real face right there. Oh my god.
From a second degree with a 15-year.
Man, she should get an extra 3 years for catfishing people with a face like this.
You what?
So I'm kidding, y'all.
Max.
But I'm not at the same time. Oh, thanks a lot, TikTok. It's a joke, you morons. Live restrictions. Yeah. You idiots. TikTok sucks. I'm going to end this live stream and come right back on, y'all. TikTok being crazy as hell. Just refresh, y'all, and come right back. TikTok is so stupid, y'all. They get so mad. I say one joke, it's funny, and they hit me with the "you can't speak man enough." God, I hate that stupid app sometimes, y'all. Oh. Okay, we're back over there. Let's go.
To a 30-year cap. So she's facing some serious charges here. I got to believe with the evidence they have just from the aftermath of the accident and what happened and the witnesses there that held her, that they're going to upgrade those charges. They're just waiting for the toxicology reports to come back from when she was treated at the hospital.
And by the way, it's recklessness and negligence. I mean, what were two different standards?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, and I didn't check this out to see whether, if it's negligence, obviously it would be some sort of a lower exposure. But in this case, I don't think there's any question, but it being reckless. I mean, flying through a red light.
Well, what she would have to say, I flew through the red light, but it wasn't my fault. It was the other driver who came out of nowhere or something, right? This can't be the first case where somebody speeds or goes through a red light, and yet they're trying to argue they weren't responsible for a car crash.
Well, they're likely going to argue that. I mean, what else can they argue really on that? That they're going to say that,
well,
I wasn't reckless. Yeah, I was negligent. I didn't see the light. But how could she say she ran the red light? Because apparently she gave that statement. How could she even say she was on these drugs unless she knew that she was on those?
Let's talk about that, because this is where I think it gets complicated. What was allegedly in her system, and could that help her defense in a way? I'll explain why. So Lathers appeared in court on Friday for a bond hearing, and she was wearing a green prison vest. Again, a very different look than what she's used to. And she had a private attorney who appeared via Zoom.
Oh, damn.
So the judge started out by releasing the public defender's office from needing to represent her. And then the judge read from Lathers' arrest report. Before we even get into the drugs and everything, let's listen a little bit to
drugs, TikTok
After
overlord.
the crash, there's video surveillance of her exiting the vehicle and walking northbound away from the crash, never rendering aid or calling 911 to assist those who were injured in the crash. Unknown bystanders grabbed a pendant and took her back to the scene of the crash and held her until the police arrived. So basically, the cars were all landed in different locations. And when the police arrived, they saw that she was under the influence. I guess police were assisting her. They asked her questions. She advised she was under the influence of 2C, a known party drug, and that she was
under what?
From the future and had a crystal ball, and she was placed in the recovery.
She's from the future and has a crystal ball?
What? You what?
Oh, no.
He needs some milk.
Man, you sound crazy as hell, lady. By the way, TikTok, hit that follow button if you're new here. Tap the screen like crazy. Let's get 25,000 likes. We had to end one stream and come back on because TikTok going crazy as hell. hit me with some hand hearts, and come over to YouTube if you want to watch the video. We're live on YouTube right now. Just search The Mystery Project. The Mystery Project on YouTube. We're live right now if you want to come see the videos. And y'all, this is about some Instagram model, Macy Marie, that apparently was on some rugs and caused a car crash that took 2 people's lives and hurt, like seriously injured another 2 people. And she when it happened, she got out of the car and like fled the scene. And some bystanders that saw it happen got her and brought her back to the accident. And then she told the cops that she's from the future and she has a crystal ball. I bet you didn't see that one coming, though. Jesus, these people are crazy. Let's keep going.
Physician until fire rescue arrived because she was vomiting. And so victim 1 had to be extracted from the vehicle 3 and was transported to the hospital, rider trauma, and in critical condition, and was later
Oh, yeah, and she didn't have a license. Yeah, her license was suspended.
pronounced deceased due to his injuries. Victim 2 was removed from vehicle 3 and transported to Jackson with...
The judge is reading off that, and she just said that the person that was in the other car that passed, and this late, well, she's, I don't know how old she is. She looks young, but she's like this. She's just like, who cares? Like, whatever. Oh my God. I'm an Instagram model. I have 11,000 Instagram followers. None of that's going to matter in prison.
Facial and arm lacerations. Victim 3 was pronounced deceased on the scene.
That's probably a family or something, y'all. Maybe it's just like some 3 friends, but 2 of them, a car. So her car hit a car. That car hit another car because he got hit. The guy that was in the middle car, he got hurt. The car that they both hit, the driver passed and the person in the back seat passed. There was a passenger in the first car and they lived.
By the fire rescue. Victim 4 was transported to JMH in stable condition. So there's 2 people that died and 2 that were injured. The vehicle was registered to her, but she doesn't have a Florida's driver's license. And a further search revealed that under her date of birth and name, she has a Florida driver's license, and it was suspended indefinitely January 16th of 2024. So that's what this case is about.
She had her Florida driver's license suspended indefinitely? Oh, hell, you did some crazy stuff, girl. Oh, man, all that IG influencer money and you couldn't afford a driver?
How dare you?
Ooh, that's a tough lesson to learn. And you took 2 people's lives. That's sick. That's so... Ugh. Let's keep going.
Okay, so other than just how horrific that whole scene was, as we talked about, the license had been suspended indefinitely, meaning she wasn't allowed to be driving, period. But now I want to talk about what you just heard there. 2C, right? 2C, this drug. It's been called pink cocaine.
Coca-Cola, pink Coca-Cola.
And according to an NYU Medical School report published in 2023, it's usually a combination of a lot of different drugs: ketamine, ecstasy,
oh, God,
cocaine, meth.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Entertainment and educational purposes only, TikTok overlords. I know you're about to get crazy as hell on this one, too.
Opioids, other...
I know you don't like hearing any kind of words. Not y'all in the chat, but the crazy robot AI people that say, you can't say that.
Psychoactives. And researchers say...
Lord have mercy. Ruckman, thanks for gifting a membership. Hell yeah. Oh, Heather got it, too. Shout out to Heather.
It's pink colors, really just for looks, aesthetics. According to the Florida Poison Control Center, 2C can cause things like racing heart rate, increased blood pressure, stroke, seizures. It's been popular in Europe and Latin America for a while now, but it's a big part of the party scene in Miami now. This is according to police. And last summer...
What?
It apparently was the #1 narcotic Customs and Border Protection officers were finding when they busted international passengers. In fact, if you've been following us here on Sidebar, you may say, why does that sound so familiar, that idea of pink cocaine?
Coca-Cola, TikTok overlords.
Well, it was one of the drugs that Sean P. Diddy Combs is accused of having on hand at parties and events.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Not the Puff Dids. Oh, Lord.
He's facing multiple lawsuits right now, accusing him of everything from drug and human trafficking to rape and physical
Grape soda. Damn it.
assault. And in a lawsuit filed by Combs' ex-girlfriend, Young Miami, she accuses Combs of having her transport 2C for him on private planes. So, Bob, here's the thing.
Wow.
Right? Voluntary intoxication, not a defense, right? If you ingest something, it affects your capabilities, your awareness, you're not going to be able to argue that. I say that, but I always have to think to myself now, look at the Bryn Spesher case. I don't know if you're familiar with this one. So she was high on marijuana when she stabbed this young man 108 times.
Oh, I remember this one too. Remember this girl? She got like probation.
Killed him, brutally killed him, found guilty by a jury of manslaughter, but the judge refused to sentence her to prison. There was an argument that she had a
Remember that?
marijuana-induced psychosis, felt that prison time was no longer warranted. After that case, I feel like it sets the stage differently. If you're taking a narcotic and these were not the reactions that you were predicting, I mean, you heard some of the things that she was allegedly saying on the scene. What do you think?
The voluntary intoxication is always kind of an interesting issue, because part of that theory is that you're of sane mind and you have your voluntary decision-making process intact when you take this drug or alcohol, and you know that as a result of that, it's going to impair your ability to exercise rational judgment. Some cases, it may be the reason why you're taking it. And then you're going to go out and do something. So
Oh my God, TikTok did it again, y'all. TikTok hears all this stuff and they're like, you can't talk about that.
the expectation is that if it's foreseeable or it's something within the realm of, what you should be charged with not doing when you're taking that drug. Now, I guess there's an argument, and maybe that judge looked at that at some point, does the consequences of it, or does it trigger with another event, unbeknownst to, let's say there's an underlying psychosis that the person is not aware of, that the interaction of the two now causes that person to behave in a way that really goes beyond this whole theory of voluntary intoxication.
I mean, it was just for me when she's like, I'm from the future and I had a crystal ball. I was like, these kind of outrageous,
That is crazy as hell.
claims. Now, I'm sure maybe she could say, yes, I took the drug. I had no intention of going behind the wheel. I don't even know how I got the car keys. They're her car, but I don't even know. I think that could be a stretch. I think it could be a stretch. But I do want to ask your opinion about this. So during the hearing, the Miami-Dade County prosecutor laid out all the reasons why they were requesting a $500,000 bond. Let's check this out.
And it looks like,
Oh, whoa.
based upon the results of the toxicology, we're likely going to charge her with DUI manslaughter. It does appear that she was under the influence of controlled substances at the time of the incident, based upon her statements,
All right, and that's what I'm saying.
her vomiting. I believe she would be a potential flight risk, in that these are extraordinarily serious charges, and we may be filing charges that include minimum mandatories for the
Well,
manslaughter.
your office hasn't filed a motion for pretrial detention as of today's date, and this case has been here for a couple of days, since August 10th when she was arrested.
So,
I agree.
so I think if we file
Lord.
DUI manslaughter, we can't file that until we get the results. Right? We may be able to file that motion. But she got into this horrible accident and then she walked away, and it appeared that she was under the influence of drugs at the time she was driving the car without a license, killing 2 people. The state's requesting a $500,000 bond plus house arrest, as well as a no drive order.
Now, Lather's attorney wasn't too
Damn, the no drive order didn't work in the first place.
happy with the bond that the state suggested. Take a look at this.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes, please.
Your Honor, I think a $500,000 bond is unreasonable and is tantamount to no bond. Your Honor, if the state is requesting house arrest as a condition, then I think that there are other parameters that would be justifiable to lower that bond. If she's going to be placed on house arrest, perhaps the court can place her on an ankle monitor or something of that nature. But I think a $500,000 bond is unreasonable. She doesn't pose a danger to the community.
You what?
She doesn't pose a danger to the community? Why don't you tell that to the two people that are no longer with us? The one person that was in the car that saw that happen, and the other guy whose car is destroyed, and his car ultimately hit the other one that unalived those people. But she's not a danger to the community? I mean, I know you're a defense attorney, but come on. She's a danger to that courtroom.
And
she's cuffed.
College graduate. She's been in the state of Florida, Your Honor.
She's a college graduate? Oh, no. Just like saying random stuff. Her favorite color is pink. She doesn't deserve this. What? Her ex-boyfriend named a star after her, Your Honor. There's a star up in the sky named after my client. She don't deserve this. Shut up. That's crazy.
For almost 2 years. So I don't think that there's anything to suggest that she's a flight risk. And again, Your Honor, if they're asking for a house arrest.
She ran away from the scene. That's the definition of a flight risk. She got in trouble, or not. Well, she knew she was going to get in trouble. She knew that she caused some kind of crazy accident, and she tried to run away. Now she knows she's definitely going to get in trouble. And you're arguing she's not going to run away, even though she ran away from the scene of the crime?
You what?
You are a horrible attorney. First off, in my opinion, allegedly, I don't know who you are, but just based off of what you just said and what she did, allegedly, that's crazy as hell. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Now let's continue.
As a condition, then I don't see why the bond should be $500,000.
And
So
so what
that's
did the
a
judge
family that
do?
lost
The judge ended up assigning a bond to each charge, which added up to $140,000.
Because I believe an increased bond is warranted. She's an absolute danger to the community based on killing two people
Yeah, exactly.
driving when she shouldn't
At least the judge is smart.
have been in a car. And she's clearly impaired based on her statements. And if it wasn't for the citizens or witnesses nearby who stopped her, she would have completely fled. So that's my ruling. Any other issues you can address with the division judge, who's Judge Pooler. Good day. Thank you, Mr. Gordon.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, Lathers, she didn't speak during the hearing except to respond to the court when the judge told her she can't get behind the wheel.
You are not allowed to drive a motor vehicle while this case is pending. Do you understand, ma'am? Okay.
And Lathers is due back in court for her next hearing on September 3rd. Bob, was that the right decision?
Well, I think it's a decision that's probably not going to be reversed. I mean, I think the judge had a sound basis for what she did. I think she tried to weigh all the factors, and she came to, I think a reasonable conclusion on that with respect to the bail. She is a danger to the community, and the problem was that she's already had a prohibition from being behind a wheel, and she disregarded the law in that respect. Now she's going to be facing some pretty significant charges. And in many states, I'm not sure Florida's one, you don't even necessarily need a toxicology report to prove under the influence. I mean, it's, maybe a fact question for the jury, and there may be more play with the defense. But, the observations of the officers at the time and what she was saying will play into that.
Even though we kind of explored the idea of defenses, it feels like an open and shut case. It's a tragedy what happened. And it was senseless. I would imagine she has to be considering seriously a plea deal, right? Instead of taking this trial. And if that's the case, what would a plea deal even look like?
Well, she has to. I mean, the interesting thing here is that leaving the scene elevates everything, and that kind of doubles her criminal exposure. But I think where the under the influence can help her is when you heard the description by the judge about from the police record, you know, you could argue that she didn't know where she was. She was just in a horrific accident, albeit she caused it, but she's disoriented. She's under the influence. Her walking there was not necessarily leaving the scene of the accident.
That's interesting.
She was just wandering at that point because if they were able to get her right away, she obviously wasn't, if she wasn't resisting, you know, is that really leaving the scene of the accident? So that would be something that you can bargain with on that. But the other factors in there, it's really going to be in terms of what are the aggravating and mitigating factors here. There are a couple of aggravating factors we just talked about. Mitigating factors might be things in her background, you know, but we don't, it's so early in the case, we don't even know that yet.
Sad case, senseless
Damn.
killings really shouldn't have happened. Unfortunately, happens way too often. But it's going to be interesting to see which way this plays out. Bob Hilla, good seeing you, my friend.
Seeing you.
Thank you so much.